So, hello everybody. Looks like I slept through a nothing burger. So, for anybody that doesn't understand exactly what I'm talking about, today was the Xbox Business blog stream, whatever it was, the effort to quell panics about the idea of Xbox abandoning their customer base and selling their console wars out, stupidity. This level of hyperbole and um, panic amongst people who are loyal to companies boggles my fucking mind. Oh, I think I just got myself demonetized. But anyway, yeah, so today was a stream that I wanted to watch live and I fell asleep and missed. And I didn't miss much because, as we expected, anybody with a brain, a company as large as Microsoft Xbox isn't going to go and publicly display all of their business plans to their competitors. They're never going to do that. What they're going to do is give you a mealy mouthed PR statement to quell internet panic and not bleed customers. That's the most important thing. So, what did we learn from this stream? Well, it's a trend in gaming that both companies, Sony and Xbox Microsoft, realize. You can only monetize your customer base so much in a non predatory way before you hit a ceiling. Microsoft Xbox knows this. They have 34 million subscribers on Game Pass. Now, you compare that to most video streaming services, and that's actually kind of low, especially for the price that they're charging. So, what is Xbox doing? Well, they hinted at 4 games that they refused to name, but they gave you a couple hints as to what they're going to be. They very much mentioned live service a number of times, and they also mentioned um, what sounded like smaller social community bases. So I'm thinking, and they also mentioned that the titles are older than a year old. So I'm thinking, of course, Sea of Thieves. Um, you might be looking at Grounded. Um, the other 2 games are a mystery to me. I don't remember them having many games that are very like community oriented, except for State of Decay 2, which at this point is old enough that I don't think they're going to really garner many more players for that game. So I'm kind of nebulous as to exactly what games they're really going to be pushing over to PlayStation. And what would Sony even be interested in these games in terms of cross-platform use? And of course, they leaned into their usual, well, we're now the biggest game publisher on the planet, only because they bought out a number of studios. And I think people need to start leaning into this a little harder in regards to Microsoft's whole business plan, because he did admit that their idea is to get them on every platform. They want to be a publisher, a large scale publisher. Now, he gave no indications whatsoever about the death of consoles. In fact, he kind of hinted that no, we're not going to be getting out of the hardware manufacturing process. But, you know, just recently, Sony admitted that the PlayStation 5 is at the quote unquote end of its life cycle. And you see all these idiot Xbox fanboys going, oh, what life cycle? It only had 2 big titles on it. No, I really wish people would use their brains before they say stupid shit. What they're talking about is both the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 were developed in a period of time where 8 gigabytes of video RAM was sufficient for playing games on a console and a computer. What we're seeing now is as games lean more heavily into Unreal Engine 5 and other engines like Hideo Kojima's, oh my god, I forgot what the hell the name of his game engine is. 8 gigabytes isn't going to be enough. So, what's going to happen there? Well, you're going to have to offer more powerful consoles. What's going to happen there? You're guaranteed a price increase. And as we all know, consoles are a loss leader. Xbox and Sony lose money on consoles. They make that up in game sales and subscription services. It's not hard. Please use your heads. So, what does this mean? Well, Of course, Microsoft, while they're claiming that Game Pass is going to stay specifically on Xbox, you have a whole year of quarters to deal with now. And as Phil Spencer said, they noticed that, they didn't make a lot of money last year. It was a huge year for gaming, but gamers are people. We don't have infinite wealth. We don't have unlimited incomes. And as inflation becomes a noticeable issue, not just in America, but around the world, energy costs are rising. Yeah, we're going to be more frugal in our costs. I'm not going to be paying $70 for release games anymore. When I can wait, 6 months, get a finished game, get a patched game, and pay $40 for it when it goes on sale. This is the mentality that gamers think of because we're people. We're not robots. And the fact that Phil Spencer very specifically noted about the fact that it's becoming more difficult to monetize a customer base and that they have to actually grow their customer base instead of nickel and diming the small customer base they have is a very, very telling statement. I think what you're going to see a lot this year is a lot of companies doing a reset. They realize they've pushed their teams too far. They're not getting the output they want from them. They have alienated a huge amount of talented people out of the industry. And again, I keep running this through people, and they need to understand. Post-COVID, the gaming industry lost an immense amount of talent that is not coming back. The corporate structures that exist in gaming now, because they have become a multi-billion-dollar industry, has alienated people that want off the train. It is no longer fun to be a game developer. There's no artistry in it. There's no creativity in it. You want to do your best. You want to create new things. And a company comes in and says, make me a Suicide Squad game. Make it live service. I don't give a crap what you want. I don't care what your expertise is in. Make me something that I can make money on. And as gamers, you keep feeding this machine. I'm sorry. Take a look at the games that have been successful this year. Early access, indie developers. Enshrouded, Palworld, Helldivers. Helldivers is $40 and offers much more than Call of Duty has in the last 5 years. And it's only PvE. Imagine that. So, this was a pointless stream for Xbox. They didn't owe anybody answers. Their shareholders already know what the business model is. This stream was pointless. And again, I want to specifically talk to Xbox fans. Companies are not your friends. Xbox Microsoft does not give a shit about you. All they care about is what you're willing to spend. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you realize that it is much more important for gaming to go cross-platform. You should be able to play your games whenever and wherever you want without having to have some form of financial and social loyalty to a company. It's not that hard to understand. And on that note, again, when you come out with stupid statements about Sony and about Microsoft, when you don't do your basic research, you look like a moron. Not just to educated people, but to just the layman in general who don't even care about gaming. The console wars are over. They were over back in the 360 era, when Microsoft basically showed you that they don't view you as a gamer, they view you as a customer. And Sony won. I'm sorry. Sony, for all their faults, for all their bad business models, for all of their... They won. But even Sony now knows that, fine, we won, but it's not enough. It's not enough to just have a walled garden ecosystem of gaming that alienates a large gaming community. There's, 6 billion people on the planet? Facebook Meta alone has 2 billion subscribers. Think about that for a second. Microsoft Game Pass has 34 million. There is money on the table that these companies are screwing themselves out of by being insular. It's kind of like the same way that, when a country comes out as, Afghanistan first or America first or France first. Well, no, you're screwing yourself out of a global market. A global market of innovation, money, and talent. Period. And these companies are finally starting to realize that, hey, we no longer live in a world where you can afford to be an isolationist anymore. And yeah, I'm going to hear all the globalist jokes in the comments. Go ahead. Do you feel better? Congratulations. So anyway, thanks a lot for that. Again, please use your minds. Thanks a lot, guys.